Hi guys, we're almost done with our 30 days of work on boundaries, and I just feel really proud of us, how far we have come. We have done a whole lot of work, and it has all been internal, but how much have you seen externally as well? That is what I'm so curious to know. The more that we shift and heal what's going on the inside of us, the more the outside of us reflects the work that we've done on the inside. So and sometimes it doesn't always add up in the time period that we think it will. We make the change first, and then the external changes happen on a little bit of a time lag. This is really important. Um, can you imagine what the world would be like if people instantly got their karma, exactly when it happened? Like you did a good thing and immediately got another good thing happening to you, or you hurt somebody and then immediately were hurt back. Um, I think there's a reason why the world is not set up that way, even though, if you kind of think about it, it kind of sounds like a world set up like that would be ultimately fair. Like that is how a world would be set up so that the world would be fair. I think that the real problem is that when you have a fair world like that, where everything is happening in such a way that you receive your consequences immediately, it doesn't give us the time that we need to actually go through the healing process within. And when you have immediate consequences like that, also, I think it can negate the spiritual growth that is necessary to, I don't know, to really change on the inside. Okay, so what I mean is I'm thinking about, a kid, if a kid does a bad choice and then their mom spanks them, that may stop the behavior, but does the kid actually get what happened? Like, no, they know that they don't want to be spanked, so they change their behavior. And I kind of feel like that's kind of what the world would be like if we had instant consequences, where, if every time you did a bad thing, you got a little divine spank in the pants, and you're like, okay, I guess I'm not going to do that thing, then why are we really changing? Like, we're not changing on a spiritual level. We would just be responding to the consequences, and responding to consequences alone is just not good enough. It's just not good enough. I'm thinking of, oh man, I can't remember it. Someone else knows it. You can post it below, but that scripture where, oh man, people that are compelled to be humble, like it's good if you're humble, and it's even good if you are forced to be humble, but it's much better if you voluntarily choose to humble yourself, right? um Choosing, but like in a situation where we get instant consequences, why would we instantly humble ourselves? Like, we wouldn't. We would just be living in this space of constantly responding to consequences instead of doing the inner work that it would take to become different people. It's really annoying. All of us I know have been annoyed at the time lag that's involved with our current world, right? It's really annoying to live in a world where you can do a lot of good and not have good come back to you right that minute. And it's really awful to live in a world where people can do bad things to you and not have to pay for it for years to come. That's awful. I know. I truly know that. And at the same time, I think that's just what's necessary for us to be able to heal. That's just what we have to put up with in order to have the experience that we need to experience, to allow our souls to heal what they need to heal, to give us the time that it takes us to like put the mental blocks together. I mean, like the building blocks, not the stumbling blocks, the building blocks of understanding. We have to have the time to stack them up and make sense of what's going on, and it just takes time. So today, I want you to go ahead and close your eyes. We're going to imagine a tube of light shining down on all of our heads. And this light contains information on God's divine perspective on the universal importance of boundaries. Okay, this is God's divine perspective on how important your boundaries are, your spouses, your children's, your parents, your everyone that you know. This is the divine perspective on boundaries on time, on space, on thoughts, on emotions. I have to mention that on our second live session, which is not on YouTube, it's in the paid version of this class, we talked about some crazy boundaries. We did incredible work. I'm like blown away at the quality of the work that took place in that session. We worked on emotional boundaries, on stress and reprogrammed our bodies on how to handle stress. We worked on our adrenal glands, our hypothalamus, the pituitary, and that whole HPA axis so that we could reprogram how we respond to stress. So if you're a very stressed person, I recommend getting the paid version of this class just to take that live session. It's so good. I'm like, do I repackage that session for like, maybe I will, I don't know, but why? It's $20 for this whole paid thing. So just go in and go watch that session. It is worth like $2,000 in my opinion. It's a really good session. So you should go watch it. It was really good. But we talked about time boundaries and procrastination. There are so many different kinds of boundaries in this world that we deal with every single day and don't even realize it. But today we're just inviting in that divine perspective on them. We don't have to understand it consciously, but every time that we say, God, tell me how to think about this, show me a new perspective. Every time we just ask for God's divine perspective on something, even if we don't feel like we get it immediately, we are opening that channel between ourselves and our creator so that God can actually send us wisdom and information that we need to make sense of the world. Again, it might not be conscious, but on some level inside of your body, your cells, your atoms, they're getting God's divine perspective and it's shifting how they perceive the world. When we shift how we perceive things, we shift what we receive. Shift your perceptions, shift your reception, okay? As you change how you understand the world is going to respond to you differently too. And you've probably already been seeing that as you go through this series, but I just wanted to bring that to your attention. Okay, let's go ahead and send in some little gratitude. I just want us to spend like one moment sending up some gratitude from our own hearts up to our creator who's so good and always does all this amazing stuff for us. Go ahead and just close your eyes and imagine this purple beam of light, this purple gratitude going from you up to our creator, and see how it makes our creator so happy to connect with you in that way. It just feels so good. See how when you send your gratitude up to God, he sends back down all of this love and peace and power and protection. It's so incredible. Okay, sending that up, receiving all the good back down. Oh, thank you guys. We have 2 more days of this fun boundaries work, and then we have something new coming up, and I'm really excited about it, as always, and I think you should be too. We're going to have a good time. For 2024, we're starting something all new. Oh, I don't want to get ahead of myself. Okay, guys, I love you so much. I'm going to see you tomorrow.